Yes, sir. Yo, it's your boy Mambo back at it again, man. It's been a long time coming, but I knew a change gonna come. Man, shout out to y'all, man. I'm not even apologizing, but it's just like, man, I miss y'all, man. Miss y'all, like, appreciate y'all been rocking with me. I know some of y'all probably been checking in, like, seeing if I dropped something, but it's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been about 2 weeks, honestly, like, and I'm sorry. I said I wasn't gonna say sorry. I'm not apologizing. Literally, I've been working, traveling, school, everything, you know what I'm saying? So, that takes precedence before this. Not saying that I don't care about y'all, not saying I don't care about my Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever, but, business priorities come first, you know what I'm saying? And it's an exciting time. This is finally, this is the best month of football season, or the off season before the actual season starts. You know what I'm saying? Because it's draft month. It'd be feeling like forever, like this. Like you could get to February, you'd be like football season now, you'd be like, yo, and it just feel like forever. But we finally coming up on it, so it's an exciting time. If I haven't done so already, just wanted to shout out my guy Aaron again. You know what I'm saying? Like, for being a subscriber. I want to get his name right. And oh yeah, I had another person. So I think Aaron was 64, I want to say. He's I think he was 64. And then I got another subscriber. My bad, I didn't shout you out in the last video. Hopefully. My guy, shout out to you, my boy DC Big Oso Ya. You know what I'm saying? Big Bear, you know what I'm saying? You don't know in Spanish it means Oso means bear. My guy, you know what I'm saying? If you want to subscribe to him, he got a couple videos up there. He got a joint called Black Widow Movie Review. He does movie reviews from what I see. So shout out to my guy. Thank you for following me, DC Big Oso Ya. Like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate it, man. Thank you for being 65, I believe. And, you know what I'm saying? Help me get to 66, 67, 75, 100. And like, and then we're going to have story time. So, I put a story time in the last video, like, you know what I'm saying? A little slight story time, just talking about my boy Aaron. Aaron is God for Life 16. Shout out to my guy. He, make sure that you keep God first, just like him. All glory to God, like, for allowing me to be able to breathe and do this video and stuff. I don't know if you can hear, my nose is a little congested, you know what I'm saying? But we still doing this thing, still rolling. So what I want to do today, we're going to have a few videos. Try to crank out as many as I can until I get tired of doing it, or the battery, like on the camera dies or whatever. So, yeah, man. So what we're going to talk about first is the Josh Harris interview with JP Finley at the owners meeting. That's the first one I'm going to do. I'm going to try to crank out that one. Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, and we're gonna go to that, and then we're gonna talk about Drake May and Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let's get into it. It's kind of a lengthy interview. I think it's the longest one that they really had. Excuse me. Hold on. Come on, man. Oh my God. They just changed the weather. I don't even have allergies. My nose just got stuffed and all that because it was cold, and then it just got warm out of nowhere. So my nose got all clogged up. So excuse me. I don't even know if I edited that out just so y'all know it's real. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, this was a lengthier interview. I think this is the longest one. I think Adam Peters was the second longest, and then Dan Quinn was like the shortest. But before I just do anything, you know what I'm saying? Um, I always like I want to say that like I like Josh Harris. Like I don't know if I've talked about that before, but he's like a real guy. You know what I'm saying? He's just an average guy. He's from Bethesda. Bethesda's a very nice area. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Kind of I would say somewhat privileged or upper middle class, but it's still a very close in proximity area to the DC area, and you know what I'm saying, and there's some good people that live there that's worked, put their bootstraps on and worked up to become very wealthy, and he's one of them. But he's like he's very smart in bringing in people that can help him be successful and stuff like that. And he's just a real guy, like what I'm saying. They always asking him questions about the name change. I know he tired of it and stuff like that, and he don't look like he get a lot of sleep. Like he just kind of because he got 3 teams to manage. So and now 2 of his teams is about to be in the playoffs. Like coming up. Well, I don't know what about the New Jersey team, but I know the Philly's going to be in the playoffs. But he got a lot on his plate. Needless to say, you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, I remember. One time they was asking him, like, "What do y'all think? What are you gonna do about the name and stuff?" He was like, "Look, we trying to get the plumbing right in the stadium. You know what I'm saying? So that's the least of our worries right now. So, I just appreciate him for that because it's like he's keeping the main thing the main thing. Dan Snyder would have been like, "Oh, we're gonna change the name again, or we're gonna do this, or like look at that, like no, look at this, like it's just always something." So, appreciate him for that. And just excited to see what he's gonna do. Like he's been doing so much. Like bringing in these really good guys. Like he says, really good guys and hold them accountable. So we're excited to see how that goes. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it. And shout out to my guy John Conn. This is the first guy I see up there with JP. Like what I'm saying. So shout out to JP too. Shout out to JP for getting this video to us and all that. So. Yeah. So it's like, how did the owner meetings go? He's like, it's my first time in the owner meetings and stuff like that. It's very productive and, just excited to work with everybody and, and he's just glad to be a part of it and, like got a lot of work done, in that time. So they were asking him like, what do you think about like how you're doing with like Adam Peters and Dan Quinn and everybody, and he's just like and it's a good analogy. He uses a lot of good analogies and stuff, and just like solid like just matter of fact things like it's funny because it's like a lot of I wouldn't say a lot of billionaires, but billionaires that are kind of like speak publicly. It's not some complex thing. Like, they just found something simple that they was good at and they just kept working at it and they built it. Like, what I'm saying? I wish it was that simple. I could do something like and figure it out. I'm working on it, what I'm saying? But, for the most part, like those guys, just found a system that worked for them and just kept going. But I say that to say, like, he used this analogy to say, like, we're drinking out of a water hose, what I'm saying? What does a water hose do? It sprays, like, what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of information coming at them, a lot of, like, new things coming at them, a lot of adjustments and stuff. And he's just like, he's just like, we done well so far, what I'm saying? Like, having Adam Peters come in, bringing the coaches that they have in, bringing the players that they have in the free agency, and now he's just looking forward to the draft. So, like we said, we're all excited for that. So we got 2 more weeks. So they asked him about the free agency and stuff like that, and he said, you see it like we signed a lot of players that like he was talking about like the players that they picked like to come into the program for free agency, like very intelligent picks, like what I'm saying, like guys that fit what they're trying to do, where they're trying to move themselves toward, what I'm saying, and it takes a lot of pressure off of them when it wants to go to the draft, so they're not like stuck to trying to get needs, but more so like reaching for players that have higher ceilings. So that was interesting to hear. I think Adam Peters kind of echoed that in his interview as well. So and he talked about having like a lot of draft capital and stuff like that. So the next question was just like, well, how important is the draft to you, or something along those lines. And he's like, obviously we had the second pick, you know what I'm saying, and then we have, worked hard to get like a lot of draft capital, a lot of picks, in the early top 100s, and that was intentional, they did that on purpose, to set the team up very well. So then, they kind of asked him, what's the progress about RFK, ran the state of the RFK and stuff like that, and he's like, yes, it's still a work in progress, they made an announcement about making $86 million worth of improvements to FedEx Field. He said FedEx Field, but as we've known, the FedEx has dropped their name, so it's it's Commanders Field. But everybody's so used to calling it FedEx Field, they're probably gonna keep calling it FedEx Field, even though the name is not there. We're probably still gonna keep calling it that, because it's been like that for 20 years. So anyways, he said it's they've been doing a lot of planning, site meetings and stuff like that with the 3 jurisdictions DC, Maryland, Virginia. And he didn't really mention Virginia that much, you know what I'm saying? Which is as we heard with the news with the Wizards and stuff and the Capitals, Virginia doesn't really seem likely that there's going to be any jurisdiction there. Any stadium built there. It's a Commonwealth. People don't want to pay tax money to build a stadium. It's understandable. So, anyways, he was talking about that. He's talking about they still had talks with Maryland, and then with DC, it's a lot of legal stuff, because it's the House and the Senate have to vote upon, getting the land back, from the government and stuff like that. So, it's still a process, and you're just trying to figure it out. So, yeah. And that's another thing too. On top of his 2 other franchises, he has to be in meetings about, the stadium and improving it. So yeah. So then they were asking him, I guess, the kind of details of it or whatever. And he was like, a lot of the jurisdictions want them there, but it's just kind of having a dialogue to figure out what they want to do, just building the master plan to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because each place is going to be different, you know what I'm saying? RFK is going to be different because it's that's in the middle of the city, transportation, what's the surrounding area going to look like, gentrification, woo-de-woo. Whereas, FedEx Field, that area is already set, you know what I'm saying? It's already been built around, it already has the infrastructure. It's out of the way for people in DC and Virginia, but it's already there, you know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be much of a difference, you know what I'm saying? And they probably could do it up even more, you know what I'm saying? Expand out, because it's a lot of development, a lot of land there, you know what I'm saying? It's still places where people can live, you know what I'm saying? People still live there, but it's also places where they can expand and grow, you know what I'm saying, without pushing people out and making it fair, you know what I'm saying? Then Virginia, like I said, I don't know. There are some spaces if they were to do kind of a borderline DC, Maryland, Virginia area, it would be the National Harbor. That'd be the perfect place. It'd be a beautiful spot. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how that would work. You know what I'm saying? It'd be cool. It'd be really cool. But I don't think they're gonna do that. It's more so Northern Virginia, but probably an hour, 30 minutes to an hour away from where everybody is, where it's close to DC, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So they would we was talking about with the Wizards and the Capitals and stuff like that. He was asking them about that, so he's just obviously, we're aware of that, and seeing how Ted and them are, Ted Leonis is reacting to it, and we're trying to plan accordingly, kind of basically paraphrasing that, you know what I'm saying? So then they asked him, I don't even know. I'm missing the question because some of the people were talking so low, they kind of in the background asking the question. So he's hearing it in the room, but we can't hear it like that. But it's I guess, what is that process as far as like the DC, like talking to DC and stuff like that, and figuring out the plans and stuff. And he's like, of course, you have to wait till they kind of, you know, vote upon the land. And even then, like, I mean, yeah, it seems like if they vote on the land, that it's going to be automatic that we get the land and have rebuild it and do a new RFK or whatever, like, but there's no guarantee. Like, they may get the land back and decide to build a hospital or something random, like, what I'm saying. So it's no guarantee, but it's like, of course he's like, we have to sit down and talk to them and have the dialogue to see what they want to do, you know what I'm saying? And it's the same with any other jurisdiction. And then trying to see what the most important thing is figuring out what the people want to build there, what they want to have, like, there and stuff like that. Because there may be people that I don't want a stadium, like, you know what I'm saying? It was already heck enough that they're going to have RFK there, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be some people like that. It's going to be some people that don't want the area, because the area will get gentrified. It's going to get, like, you know what I'm saying, if it's not already, that area is kind of not, you know what I'm saying, it's like, it's not a, well, no, it's parts of it is very gentrified, and then it's part of the area that's like, it's kind of been the same way for a long time, you know what I'm saying, but if a new stadium's there, it will get gentrified, like, for real. Not something I'm happy with, but some of it's like, I wouldn't even say it's necessary, like, it really isn't, like, they can figure out a way, but unfortunately, that kind of comes with the territory, you know what I'm saying. All I can say is, like, you know what I'm saying, get you a piece of land, people, the DC people, you know what I'm saying, chocolate people, you know what I'm saying. Like, no offense to my other brethren, you know what I'm saying, but DC is chocolate city for a reason, not macadamia, you know what I'm saying. So I'm not a big fan of my people in DC getting moved out, but we can also do something about it too, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's my little sidebar. You see what I'm dealing with, it's the Black Vote Matters. That's the thing too, make sure you get out and vote, you know what I'm saying. Vote for those wards and all that stuff, council members, all that, so. So then they asked him about the locker rooms. There's like a anonymous player survey that players around the league do about their own teams and stuff like that. And somehow I guess the locker room facilities like got an F minus. And this is one of my favorite answers from Josh Harris. He was just like, yeah, I'm not an F minus guy, like, because they was like, what do you think about it? He's like, yeah, I'm not an F minus guy. I was like, I didn't even know you can get an F minus. I don't know. I probably could figure out a way to get F minus, but like, I don't think Josh Harris is an F minus guy. You know what I'm saying? So he just like, they're just working hard to like, he's like, we're already jumping on that. We jumped on that right away, like kind of pause, but he was like, we jumped on that right away, and we're trying to like, just make improvements to it. He was like, Adam and Dan Quinn, like, what I'm saying, already left the ownership meetings like early to go talk to an architect that's going to help them like, make plans to like, help improve the facilities and stuff like that. So I mean, even with that, from the looks of that, it sounds like probably Dan Quinn and Adam like probably had their interviews before Josh Harris. But I wanted to do it kind of in the order of like hierarchy, you know what I'm saying? So Josh Harris, Adam Peters, Dan Quinn. You gonna see how I do it, but. Anyways, that was a little sidebar. He was just talking about like, them. It's interesting, like, they're leaving those meetings to go fly in and talk to an architect, to figure out what they want to do with it. So to start the rebuilding process and like kind of build, from the players' experience, the players' lounge, the bathrooms, like et cetera, just trying to make sure that they have the best experience and stuff like that. And he was just also talking about like, when they did those surveys, like that was in that kind of realm of like the ownership change. So it's like by the time he got the chance to come in and like, the stuff that they're voting on and making decisions on, the players are voting on and stuff and making these surveys on, like, Josh Harris hadn't really got a chance to put his, like, to touch it, like touch these, like, facilities. Pause. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying. He didn't get a chance to make a change, like, you know what I'm saying. So that's pretty much it. I like what he be thinking, man. So they asked him about the practice facilities, like what's the timeline would be, like, you know, to build a practice facility and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, he like it kind of depends on, like, you know, what they do when they build the stadium, like, you know, like that's kind of gonna go hand in hand with that, you know. And so it's like, you know, will the stadium be? I mean, will the practice facility be with the stadium, or does that matter? And he was just saying that it doesn't necessarily matter and stuff like that. And he's like, when you gotta like when you really had to think about it, it's like we had 3 jurisdictions. Of course, like there's 3 places: the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. You know what I'm saying? It kind of like works out like, you know, that way where, you know, the facility is in Virginia, and, you know, it's right now the stadium's in Maryland, but maybe it could be in DC. But it's like you feel like, you know, they get a chance to, like, you know, be in all of the communities, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, you're representing DC, you're in Maryland, and you're able to have a practice facility in Virginia where people can go and see it. And so Virginia fans can see the team too. So it works out that way. Like, you know, it's interesting to think about it like that. But that's what I'm saying. I like the way he thinks. But it was like, you know, the whole goal is to take a step back and look at it holistically, the area, and see what works best for them. You know what I'm saying? So. Yo, bro, I swear he be doing edibles or something like that, bro. This man just tried to drink a water bottle with the top on, man. Like, he be doing some funny stuff, though. Like, I will say he's very smart, but it's like sometimes people, you know, other people you hear are like idiot savants. I'm not calling him idiot savant, but, you know, like, if you ever heard of idiot savant, it's like they're geniuses, but they can't do simple day-to-day tasks. Like, they can't put their clothes on very well. They struggle with day-to-day things, but they can write you a formula to change the science of relativity or something like that, you know. But like like he be doing funny things. I know the time when he shook like it was Chris Collinsworth hand or Mike Tirico hand, I don't know who it was, but he was drunk, like, you know. Then that was funny, like, you know. But this like he probably was high, like, you know what I'm saying, or like, you know, he just tired, because it's like I know when I wake up in the morning, like really early in the morning, like my brain don't work all the way. It's just like I'm just doing stuff. Like I'm just going through the motions. So I think that's where he was at. So they asked him about, like, you know, kind of like the improvements that would be done to like the stadium, like, you know, when they get a new stadium and stuff. And, you know, he was just like, when you think about it, like FedEx Field was built like 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot has changed, like, you know, as far as the fan experience and just having like a premium place to watch the game. You know, there's betting and there's different things like that. You know, people can watch it from home, watch on their phones. Like, there's so many things they can do. And it's like this change from the digital age, digital transformation is multiplied, gotten bigger, like, you know, since like that time. So we got like a dinosaur stadium in a sense, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's a place where they gotta grow. So yeah, man, it's like, you know, they just it's something that they're gonna have to focus on, is bringing a better fan experience in, and like, you know, helping fans, like, you know, enjoy their time at the stadium and stuff. So they asked him about, like, you know, the new kickoff rules, like, because he had to be convinced, or like, you know, was he already on board with it? So he was just talking about kind of like shortening it, because it's just like it's about kickoffs and stuff like that. But he was just like, you know, he supported it, like, you know what I'm saying. I think his team, like, you know, informed about it and stuff like that. And he was talking about, like, you know, how player safety is good for the fans. Like, you know, it's kind of, at the end of the day, it's kind of it's all about the fans and the NFL experience. You know, if the players can stay healthy, then the game can be more exciting for the fans and stuff like that in turn. So, like, you know, that's why he supported and stuff like that. So they asked him, like, you know, what do you think about Roger Goodell's leadership style in the NFL in general, you know? And he was just like, you know, like, obviously the NFL is doing an amazing job. Like, you know, 93 of the top 100 shows are, like, you know, the NFL games, and then the Super Bowl is amazing. So it's just like they're doing a great job with the brand. kind of pretty much that, just yeah, it's pretty much that. Like, kind of expound upon it more, but I just forgot what it is. But I ain't gonna go all the way back to talk about it. But yeah, the NFL is a great brand, and it's something that he's experienced. Like, it's a lot of hard work that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of meetings, a lot of things that have to kind of coincide together. So he just decided to be there. So they asked him, like, what does he think about the NFL game, like, as far as like the entire league and stuff like that compared to the other places, franchises and leagues that he's in or owns or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's a bigger game, you know what I'm saying? More people watch it, you know what I'm saying? It's the rosters are bigger. It's just like a bigger, like, a sport and stuff like that. With that comes a lot of more scrutiny and stuff like that, but it's also the opportunity to impact more people and stuff like that, because it's just larger and the games are bigger and stuff. And he talked about, like, being like a steward of the city wherever he is in, like, each sport that he owns, like, the teaming, being a steward for that city and the for the community of players and coaches and stuff like that, connecting with them and making sure they have a good product on the court, on the field, on the ice and stuff like that. So it's just they're very similar, but it's just on a bigger scale, like, with the NFL. So then they asked him kind of like number 2 pick and like quarterback and stuff like that. He's like, what do you think about, like, drafting a quarterback, and, like, what do you think about that impact and stuff like that? He was like, just keep it. That's why I like keep it simple. You don't want to overcomplicate it and stuff like that. He don't want to show his hand, none of that. He's like, look, man, like, the number 2 pick is the number 2 pick. It's important anywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you pick a number 2, like in any draft, any league and stuff like that, you want to get you a good player. You hope to get you a good player and stuff, and, like, what I'm saying, and hope that it goes well. So yeah, man, like, that's pretty much that. So then they asked him, like, why did he pick kind of Adam Peters, and what was that process like, And he's like, I'm all about creating edges and stuff like that, and, like, and finding ways to get ahead and stuff, and, like, he was one of the guys that kind of come from some programs that are very well respected, well thought of and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And he just wanted to bring in somebody that was good at analytics and, and another way to create an edge and stuff like that. Be able to bring in coaches and bring in players and, like, bring in players on good free agency deals and stuff like that, where they can just kind of, come together. And, when it comes down to Adam, like, he just like a guy with a good reputation and just does well with his job. And, like, that was the reason why he picked him. Yeah, so then they asked him, like, him sitting in on the combine, like the QB meetings and stuff like that, meeting with the QBs. And, he was just like, yeah, like, I've never been with one before. Like, like I said, him being a fan, he been a fan of this team, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure, like, a lot of people, I mean, I could live without going to the combine, honestly. But, if I got a chance to go to the combine, it'd be cool. I would be kind of fanned out just like everybody else. But this dude is a real fan of this team, and he was like, I've never been there before. I never got a chance to go and see this, so, like, I got the opportunity to sit in there and see how Adam and Dan Quinn, like, talk to, the players and stuff like that. Got to pick their brains and see the process and stuff like that. And he was like, it's very educational for him and stuff like that, And so, like, you can't blame him for wanting to do that, you know what I'm saying? Then one thing if, like, he was like, he goes in and he's interviewing the player himself, he just kind of sat back and just watched the process and stuff. So, that's an interesting thing. And it's like, bro, this is the dude that's gonna be leading your team. Like, wouldn't you want a dad gonna sit in there and be like, all right, let me figure out if this guy is the one that we need to bring in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be another thing if you didn't even go to meetings and be like, oh, I trust him, and then you draft the guy, he come in and he a whole Obama, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you wanna do right, and get it right, you know what I'm saying, the first time, so you have to keep doing this again. You know, so you know, I mean, if that doesn't go right, then it's like, you know, that's on Adam Peterson and Dan Quinn at that point. You know, and the only thing that affects him is like the fans is gonna be mad at Josh Harris. But you know, I think he's a guy that wants to do his due diligence and everything. You know, every sector of this team. So, you know, gonna get it right, man. You got, what's it? You got 15 more days, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna go by fast. So that's pretty much it. The last thing they asked him about some shrimp from somewhere, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm glad he's not allergic to shellfish. You know what I'm saying? And he likes shrimp, so cool. Like, you know, I don't know. It was, you know, I'm just joking, but like, it was on the video, so I just, you know, I felt like I should share it with you. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's it with the Josh Harris interview. The next one is Adam Peters. Man, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you lock in with your boy. Lock in with me. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm going to try to get these videos rolling, man. I am in the thick of it, boy. I am right in the thick of this jank, man. Like, I got projects, tests, finals, graduation gowns, and caps and stuff like that, bills, everything. You know what I'm saying? Family, love life. Oh my, you know what I'm saying? But it's not an excuse. Still gonna try to get these videos out to you, man. But anyways, appreciate all the support, man. 66, 67, 75, 100. And then story time, man. Make sure y'all locking with me. Appreciate everybody that's like, you know, locking in and tuning into these janks, man. Keep running the videos up, man. Look at the old videos if you haven't. If it's taking a long time for me to post another video, look at my old videos. You know what I'm saying? They funny too. You know what I'm saying? Especially the first year. Like, I was tweaking. Like, that's the real emotional part of me. But anyways, that's it. It's your boy Mambo, Big Dog Camaro. Peace, love, and hair grease.